Have you ever been abandoned by the one person who promised forever? Imagine building a family, a home, a life, only to watch it shatter in a single night you'll never forget. The night she left still plays in my mind like a film I can't turn off. And yes, it was raining. It almost felt scripted, except the pain was far too real. She didn't wait for bedtime, didn't wait for quiet. She stood in the living room, suitcase by her side, her eyes already miles away. Daniel, our youngest, only 5, wrapped himself around her leg. "Mommy, don't go," he begged through his tears. But she didn't even look at him. She looked at me, straight through me, and said, "I can't do this anymore. I need to live my truth." That truth was another man, Eric, a face from her yoga class. And then she was gone. No hugs, no kisses, no goodbye. Just the sound of the door shutting and the rain swallowing the silence. I stood there frozen, shattered, but I didn't get the privilege of falling apart. 3 kids were staring at me, confused, frightened, and broken. In that moment, I had to become everything they had lost. The first year was brutal. Rachel, my eldest, shut herself off, refusing to speak for months. Jake, only 10, lashed out at the world. Fights, anger, walls of steel around his heart. And Daniel, my sweet boy, cried himself to sleep almost every night. And me? I worked 2 jobs. I packed lunches, braided hair, helped with homework, and pretended to smile when my chest ached. I cried in the shower where no one could hear. People whispered, pitied, or blamed me. But no one saw the battles I fought in silence to keep our family standing while she played house with another man. She never called, never sent a card, never showed up for birthdays or graduations. Not even a dime of child support. She erased us, as if we were nothing more than a chapter she didn't like. But I wouldn't let her absence destroy us. I raised those kids with love, discipline, and honesty. I never told them to hate her, but I didn't sugarcoat the truth either. Their mother had chosen herself over them. And still they grew. Rachel became a nurse, strong and steady. Jake built his own mechanic shop. And Daniel, the boy who once cried himself to sleep, chose courage and joined the army. We had survived. We had built a life from the ruins she left behind. And then, 21 years later, she knocked on my door. I opened it to find her standing there, older, her hair touched with gray, her eyes tired. A suitcase in her hand, just like before. My first feeling wasn't anger. It wasn't sadness either. It was simply, why? Why now? I asked, my voice cold. Her lips trembled. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "Once, those words would have gutted me. But now? They meant nothing. The kids are grown," I told her. "Our lives moved on. Why are you here?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Eric died 3 months ago. I've been alone ever since. I thought maybe we could talk." She glanced past me like she expected me to let her in, to welcome her back into a life she'd abandoned. But I stood my ground. I remembered every missed birthday, every school play, every graduation, every scraped knee she never kissed. The kids' reactions were sharp and final. Rachel spat fire. She doesn't get to waltz back in and pretend she matters. Jake muttered, "She's got guts, I'll give her that." And Daniel, ever gentle, asked only, "Are you okay, Dad?" None of them wanted her back. None of them even asked why she had left. She was already a ghost in their story. Still, I let her sit on the porch. I made her tea. And I listened. She spoke of regrets, of how the freedom she wanted became chains, how Eric didn't want kids, how loneliness haunted her every night. But no amount of regret could undo what she had done. "They're not your kids anymore," I told her. And I meant it. She stayed in town for a while, lingering on the edges. But the kids wanted nothing to do with her. Rachel warned me she better stay away. Jake scoffed that she could dig through the ashes she'd left. And Daniel told me the truth I already knew. "You were both parents, Dad. She doesn't deserve a place in our story anymore." One day, she left a letter under my door. Inside was an old photo of us, back when we looked whole. On the back, she had written, "I'm sorry. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I just wanted to say goodbye properly this time." That night, I stared at the photo, not because I missed her, but because I didn't. The woman in that picture had died the night she walked out. The woman who showed up 21 years later was a stranger, and I owed that stranger nothing. A month later, I stood in the backyard with Daniel, grilling steaks. The grandkids ran through the sprinklers, laughter echoing in the air. Rachel and her husband were on their way. Jake had texted earlier, "Don't start the beer without me." And in that moment, surrounded by the family I had raised, I felt something I hadn't in decades. Peace. Not the fragile peace after a storm, but the kind that comes from surviving one. She may have left, but I walked forward, and I never once looked back. So if you're listening to this, remember, people may leave, promises may break, but love and resilience can build something stronger than betrayal. Don't let the ones who walk away define your story. Let the ones who stay shape it.